Something we see very often in AgGrid instances, either as part of our grid gurus, that's our DataGrid consultancy, or when we're doing demos of Adaptable and people show us what they've already previously created in AgGrid, we often see what we would call a button column. That's an AgGrid column that contains a button that performs a specific action. That seems to be a very common requirement, which is why in Adaptable we've actually provided something called action columns that make this very easy for you to do. They're easy to create. More importantly, they manage all the cell rendering in order to make them as performant and as virtualized as possible. So in this video, I'm just going to give a very quick introduction to action columns. And like all topics in Adaptable, there's a lot more there that you can look at and try out. So as I say, an action column is essentially a column which is defined at design time by the developer, and it contains a button. It contains an adaptable button. So if let's go full screen here, and if we look at this grid here, we can actually see that we've got three columns with action columns in. We've got this one here, delete row, that's a button. If I click that, you can see we delete a row, and that has text, but it has no icon. If you look here, you can see that this one has an icon, and then when we click it, it does something, but it has no text. And then you can see here in this column, we're able to differentiate. So just as in this column here, we only show TypeScript when the column is TypeScript. Here, sometimes we show remove star, sometimes we show add star, sometimes it's disabled, and sometimes it's invisible. And all that is done through functions that the user provides. If you look at the code here, you can essentially see this is the update stars. It decides when it's shown. We decide what the style is. We say what happens when you click it. This is the one for delete row, where again you can see there's an onClick function where we call the Adaptable API to do stuff. So that is, in a nutshell, an action column. It's columns which the developer defines. They put them in the action columns section of action column options, and then Adaptable takes care of all the rendering, how it should look, whether it should appear, and of course what it should do. Finally, it's worth probably noticing also that there's nothing stopping you having more than one button. So in this case here, we've got two buttons, one called up, one called down. So when I click up, you can see the issue change goes up, and when I click down, you can see it goes down. And there's no limit on the number of buttons that you can put in an action column. We do actually use action columns elsewhere in Adaptable to create other stuff, but that's a topic for another time. So there we are. If you're using AgGrid and Adaptable and you have a requirement to display a button, then look at action columns, because they take away a lot of the kind of difficult wiring up for you. Like everything in Adaptable, they're future-proofed, and they're also guaranteed to be very performant. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to know more about Adaptable, please get in touch. We'll be delighted to provide you with a personalized one-to-one demo, or indeed give you a free, no obligation trial license. Thank you for watching.